Okay, hello everybody. Hello again. My name is Emma and welcome to Friday, Faith Night Friday. I'm trying to memorize them all because I do something different every day. Like tomorrow is Saturday Night Threads and I'm going to be crocheting tomorrow. Everything's about Valentine's Day. But right now, tonight is Faith Night Friday, and I am using this book right here, and it's a 50 reading, being in the Bible, 52 weeks. Of course, I'm not going exactly according to every week that it's talking about, but I am sticking to every page. Right now I am in week, I don't know what week I'm in actually, hold on. Okay, I'm on week 14, even though I started this like last year. But I mean, literally last year. So I'm on week 14, and right now I'm in day 5, which is supposed to be, I'm in Judges. It's from 4 to 6. So I was reading that and got some kind of interesting stuff that I was reading. Let me see. Let's see. Where did I start? Okay, so I think we're talking about how many times, I'm trying to get my thinking cap on. How many times have Israel sinned against God? Now, there was, something was always up. They were never happy, and they were always complaining about things. Even to the point where Moses hit the rock twice, and because the people were just complaining. Well, then again, it's kind of like you can't really blame them after being somewhere out in, not even the wilderness, because the wilderness is more like trees and bushes and wildlife. And, when you're out in the desert for 40 years, it's desolate. There's like hardly nothing there, let alone water. So everybody was always complaining, and that in a way you kind of can't blame them, especially when they were eating stuff day in and day out, the same thing over and over and over and over again for a long time, but to be going through all of that, and even with the things that God did for his people, and saving them and getting them out of Egypt, and trying to get Moses to get them to the promised land, all that, and even with Joshua, they were still complaining. And at one point, they even stopped worshiping the Lord, and they were worshiping other gods. Well, it so happened that after Joshua, God kept putting somebody in place so that this person can defeat whatever enemies they had to fight in order for them to be at peace. And at one point, they did send Ehud? They sent one of them. I gotta start writing this down. And they had, because of him, or it was another one, I think it was before. Well, anyway, at one point they had peace for 40 years because the other person that got put in charge, it was the son of Caleb, right? It was the son of Caleb. I think that's what it was. I think it was the son of Caleb. And because of that, they had peace for 40 years. And then again, the Israelites cried out, because again, they sinned against God again. And this time he said Ihad. And after God helped them to have victory over the enemy, then they had 80 years of peace. And I think that's awesome. Can you imagine not ever going through anything, always having what you need, never running out of anything? You're safe, your children are safe, your grandchildren are safe, everybody's happy, everybody's living a good life. It had to be awesome. No worry, no stress, everything was good. And that even doubled, because the last one was 40 years, and then this one ended up being 80 years, where they had the Israelites defeated Moab, and there was peace in the land for 80 years. Not 80, just 80. Okay, so then we move on, and the next leader was Shamgar, the son of Anath. He too rescued Israel by killing 600 Philistines with an ox goad. Whatever that is, I don't know. But anyway, so then there was that. So then I moved on to, where are we now? Judges 4-6. Now, in these chapters, they did mention about Deborah and Barak. And as you know, Deborah was very famous as far as one of the great women in the Bible. So Ehud, the one who was able to give peace for 80 years to the Israelites, died. The people of Israel, this is 4:1, chapter 4:1, sinned against the Lord again. So the Lord and let them be ruled in the city of Hazor. The commander of his army was Sisera, who lived in Horesheth of the Gentiles. And then there was this one who was called Jabin, had 900 iron chariots, and he ruled the people of Israel with cruelty and violence for 20 years. Then the people of Israel cried out to the Lord for help again. And this time, the one that stepped in was a wife of Lebethoth, and her name was Deborah. She was a prophet, and she was a serving judge for the Israelites at that time. She would sit under a certain palm tree between Ramah and Bethel in the hill country of Ephraim, and the people of Israel, where Israel would go there for her decisions. So she would end up, whatever disputes anybody ever had, she would be there to, okay, we're going to end this here. Okay, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. Yeah. Okay, so then, okay. She would sit under a certain palm tree between Ramah and Bethel in the hill country of Ephraim, and the people of Israel would go there for her decisions. One day, she sent for Barak, the son of Abinom, from the city of Kadesh and Nephtali, and said to him, "The Lord, the God of Israel, has given you this command. Take 10,000 men from the tribes of Nephtali and Zebulun and lead them to Mount Tabor. I will bring Sisera, the commander of Jabin's army, to fight you at the Kishon River. He will have chariots and soldiers, but I will give you victory over him." And then Barak was like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. He's like, yeah, I will go if you go with me. But if you don't go with me, I won't go. I won't go either. He's like, heck no. But she answered her, all right, I'll go. I'll go with you, but you won't get credit for the victory because the Lord will hand Sisera over to a woman. So Deborah set off for Kadesh with Barak. Barak called the tribes of Zebulun and Naphtali to Kadesh, and 10,000 men followed him. Deborah went with him. Okay, so as far as that goes, is I mean the whole story behind. I think the whole story behind Deborah was that whatever happened in that day, nobody wanted to step up and do anything. And I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe she had enough, or, she said, okay, we got to end this, we're done here. So somebody got to do something. And so the Lord, told her what to do. He goes, okay, well, you're it. So Deborah said to Barak, go, the Lord is leading you today. And this is 4:14. Then Deborah said to Barak, go, the Lord is leading you. Today he has given you victory over Sisera. So Barak went down from the Mount Tabor with his 10,000 men. When Barak attacked with his army, the Lord threw into confusion Sisera with all the chariots and men. Sisera got down from his chariot and fled on foot. And Barak pursued the chariots and the army to Haroseth of the Gentiles, and Sisera's whole family was killed. Not a man was left. So Sisera ran away. Now, I'm probably saying all these names wrong. I mean, I have to find a way to Google and how to pronounce these names. I'm pretty sure I'm chopping them all up really bad. Okay, so Sisera okay, so Sisera ran away to a tent of Jael, the wife of the Heber the Kenite, because King John of Hazor was at the peace with the Heber's family. Jael went out to meet Sisera and said to him, come in, sir, come into my tent. And so he went in, she hid him behind a curtain, and she gave him a drink of water. She said, she opened a leather bag of milk, gave him a drink, and hid him again. Then he told her, stand at the door of the tent, and if anyone comes and asks if anyone is here, you say no. Sisera was out tired, then he fell asleep. Then Jael took a hammer and a tent peg and quietly went up to him and killed him by driving a peg right through the side of his head into the ground. When Barak came looking for Sisera, Jael went and she told him what she did. And then 4:23, the day God gave the Israelites a victory over Jabin, the Canaanite king, they pressed harder and harder against him until they destroyed him. Okay, so then it goes on. So chapter 5 in Judges is about a song. On the day Deborah and Barak, son of Abinam, sang this song. So it's the whole chapter is like a whole song. Okay, so it goes through like everything they went through. So then it goes on to I went all the way up to, okay, so after everything was done, after the song was sung, there was peace in the land again for 40 years. So they were good. They were okay. So again, God was there to help them. In chapter 6, Gideon. Once again, the people of Israel sinned against the Lord. So he let the people of Midian rule them for 7 years. Well, at least it wasn't like 20 like it was last time. The Midianites were stronger than Israel, and the people of Israel hid from them in caves and other safe places in the hills. Whenever the Israelites would plant crops, the Midians would come with the Amalekites and the desert tribes and attack them. They couldn't even grow anything. Jeez. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going down to 2:6:7. Then the people of Israel cried out to the Lord, for help from the Midianites, and he sent them a prophet who brought them this message from the Lord, the God of Israel. I brought you out of slavery. I rescued you from the Egyptians and from the people who fought you in this land. I drove them out as you advanced, and I gave you their land. I told you that I am the Lord your God, and that you should not worship the gods of the Amorites, whose land you are now living in, but you did not listen. Okay, so then there was an angel that came. I told you to worship, but you have not listened to me. Then the Lord's angel came to the village of Ophrah and sat under an oak tree that belonged to Joash, a man of the clan of Abizar. His son Gideon was threshing some wheat secretly in a winepress, so that the Midianites would not see him. So the Lord's angel appeared to him there and said, "The Lord is with you, brave and mighty man." Who is Gideon? The son of Gideon, right? No. Wait. Who's he talking to? Oh, it's angel. Okay. Okay. All right, so Gideon, he was talking to Gideon. Okay, so Gideon said to the man, "If I may, sir, why has all this happened?" And then he's going on and on about what happened, how the Lord, did all this stuff, and then all of a sudden the Lord just abandoned them. Then the Lord ordered him, "Go with all your great strength and rescue Israel from the Midianites. I myself am sending you." So I don't know if that was the Lord sending him or if that was the angel sending him. So I'm kind of stuck on that one. So then, okay. So Gideon replied, But Lord, how can I rescue Israel? My clan is the weakest in the tribe of Manasseh, and I am the least important member of the family. The Lord answered, "You can do it because I will help you. You will crush the Midianites as easily as if they were only one man." Gideon replied, If you are pleased with me, give me some proof that you are really the Lord. Please do not leave until I bring you some food. So he went out and he did all this cooking for him. And this was funny. Well, not funny, but I don't know. Maybe it was something that was going to be like foretold. So the angel he put the meat in a basket and the broth in a pot and brought it to the Lord's angel under the oak tree and gave them to him. The angel told him, "Put the meat and the bread on this rock and pour the broth over them." Gideon did so. Then the Lord's angel reached out and touched the meat and the bread with the end of the stick he was holding, and fire came out of the rock and burnt up the meat and the bread. Then the angel disappeared. I ain't eating that. I don't know. I don't know why he burnt it. I don't know. I mean, could have been like a burnt offering. I don't know. So I would have been like, I went out of my way to do this and you just burnt it all up. I'm like, oh, wow. But the Lord told him, no, wait. So so the fire came out and then he left. Gideon then realized that it was the Lord's angel he had seen. And he said in terror, he was like, oh, shoot, this was really an angel. And he saw the angel face to face. So now he was like really, really scared. And he's, the sovereign Lord, I have seen your angel face to face. But the Lord told him, peace, don't be afraid, you will not die. Gideon built an altar to the Lord there and named it The Lord is Peace. And it supposedly is still supposed to be there until this day. The night, take your father. Okay, that night the Lord told Gideon, take your father's bull and another bull 7 years old, tear down your father's altar to Baal and cut it down for the symbol of the goddess Asherah, which was beside it. Build a well-constructed altar to the Lord your God on top of the mount. Then take the second bull and burn it whole as an offering using the firewood of the Asherah you have cut down. So Gideon took the 10 servants and did what the Lord had told him. He was too afraid of his family and the people in the town to do it by day, so he did it at night. Because again, the Israelites, or no, the Midianites, whatever they tried to do, they would come and destroy it. So he said, no, we're doing this at night, not during the day. When the people in town got up early the next morning, they found the altar of Baal and the symbol Asherah had been cut down, and that the second bull had been burnt on an altar that had been built there. And they asked each other who did this. And they investigated and found that Gideon, the son of Joash, had done it. Then they said to Joash, bring your son out here so that we can kill him. He tore down the altar to Baal and cut down the symbol Asherah beside it. But Joash said to all those who confronted him, are you arguing for Baal? Are you defending him? Anyone who argues for him will be killed before morning. If Baal is a god, let him defend himself. It is his altar that was torn down. From then on, Gideon was known as Jerubbaal, because Joash said, let Baal defend himself. It is his altar that was torn down. Then all the Midianites, the Amalekites, and the desert tribes assembled, crossed the Jordan River, and camped in Jezreel Valley. The Spirit of the Lord took control of Gideon, and he blew a trumpet to call the men of the clan of Abizar to throw out the territory of both parts of Manasseh, to call them to follow him. Okay, so then Gideon said to God, you say that you have decided to use me to rescue Israel. Well, I'm putting some wool on the ground. So he wanted more proof to know that whoever he was listening to, that it was really God. So, I'm putting some wool on the ground where you thresh the wheat. If in the morning there is dew only in the wool, but not on the ground, then I will know that you are going to use me to rescue Israel. This is exactly what happened when Gideon got up early the next morning. Well, not that he didn't know it was God, just he wanted to make sure that he was the one that was chosen. He squeezed the wool and wrung out enough dew out of it to fill the bowl with water. Then Gideon said to God, don't be angry with me. Let me speak just once more. Please let me make one more test with the wool. Wow, can you imagine testing God? I mean, they did that too. What was it? It was something they did, and they got mad at God, and then God turned and got mad at them. Okay, so that's another story. Please make one more test with the wool. This time, let the wool dry and the ground be wet. And it so happened that that did happen. Okay, so I'm on 7. So there's so much to be said about Deborah. If you want to, Google about her, about who she was, and she was able to hear the voice of God. She was a woman of great wisdom, revelation, discernment, and yeah, I guess what it is when God tells us to be obedient, or if He tells us, to do something, that we should be, ready to rise up to the opportunity to do something. And God won't ask you to do something. He will prepare you first. So, He'll want to use you, and He will use you to do great things if you just be obedient to what He tells you to do. And there's just so much more. And just like who do you call it? Gideon asking for, proof that he was chosen. That reminds you of Hebrews 11:1, where it says, "Faith is in the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." So I don't know. These days it's hard for us, because at least back in the day, I don't know, God would really show things. Now, our faith alone has to be enough. It's not like back then, God was sent an angel. I mean, I don't know. Maybe some people have seen angels. I haven't seen one yet. I'll be honest, I have not. Okay, but I do know that some things have happened without, my faith. Because of my faith, things have happened, and I didn't see any, substance of it, but all I know that it was done. I didn't see it, but it was done. So I'm going to close with that, guys. My time is running out. Okay, guys, so I hope you enjoyed Faith Night Friday, and I hope you get into the Word on a daily basis so you can be encouraged too. And don't ever let anybody say that you cannot do anything or you cannot do great things, because the Lord will give you the opportunity to do great things, guys. Okay, guys, so like a fish in the sea, so glad you caught me, and I will catch you tomorrow for Saturday Night Threads. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and definitely comment. Bye.